Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to Grumpus on Fire. I'm Grumpus. Well, this week I got lucky and scored a couple of whole chickens. So today we're going to cook these birds up. I'm going to spatchcock them. We're going to cook them over the firebox, over open flame. Season them up real good with some Uncle Steve's, and just let them rip. Stick around. I think you're going to like this one. Well, we're going to start our fire with a full chimney of charcoal out of the blue bag, Kingsford. And we're not using our fire management basket today because I need the fire spread out, which is just the opposite of what the fire management basket does. I've got some pear wood. I'm going to get that going real good. And I'm going to build a pretty good fire here to start out and let this die down. Two reasons. I just got this pear wood. I don't know how moist it is inside or what the moisture content is or anything like that. So we're just going to let this thing blaze up, hopefully, and cook down to the coals, and then we'll get our meat put on. Since we're doing this straight out of the firebox, we're going to leave the top open. I've opened the vents to on the other end just in case I need some smoke to escape. But for right now, we're doing this old school. Straight over open fire. Let's just see how this turns out. Well, while we're waiting on our fire to come up, let's go ahead and spatchcock these. I'm sure you've seen this before, but if not, I'll do this first one real quick. Basically, breast side down, come in on the next side. What we're going to do is cut this backbone out. Good pair of kitchen shears really helps. You can do it with a knife. I just find it a little quicker, easier with the shears. Come up here on the other side. Sometimes that skin doesn't want to cut. Tear it on out. And there you go. You just cut the backbone out. Set that off to the side. Now what I usually do is I like to come in right here where this breastbone's at. Come down with my shears. Give it a little snip. That way when we bend it over, and right there where we snipped, push that down. And there you go, nice and flat. That'll help promote even cook. It'll cook a little faster. Look at there. We'll do the other one real quick, and then we'll get these things on the fire. Alright, today we got some Uncle Steve's shake. This is his SpicyR. It's supposed to have a slight bit of heat over the original. I'm gonna try it out on this chicken. I think it's gonna be really good. So far his stuff Uncle Steve's hasn't been too overly salty. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a good coating. We'll put them skin side down on the grates, and then I'll season the other side over the fire so it's not all rubbed off. I think our fire ought to be about ready. So as you can see, we burnt down pretty good. It's been about 45 minutes. Really burnt better than I expected. I thought that wood would be a little greener than it is. So we threw one extra split on top of it. That ought to give us some smoke here in the beginning. Some good smoke. Like I said, we're going to cook it right on the grate. Right over the open fire. I think this is going to be good. I'll just give you a peek down into that fire. See, most of our flame has died down. I've got the damper choked down pretty good. You know, even on an open fire like this, you can still regulate your heat with that damper. Open that up. Take an eye on that and get it up here where my camera don't melt. You can see it'll start flaming up even more. You let more air into it. But right now it's just like somebody blowing on them coals, and I don't want to fire that high because this chicken grease is going to drip down. I don't want it to burn. So let's pull this back over about that much. Fire die down. It's time to get these birds on. As I said, we're going to put these skin side down today. Bring these wings up just a little bit. I'm going to go skin side down because I want to see if I can crisp that skin up pretty good. Alright, let's flip it around this way. As you can see, everything lays out real nice. Now we're going to season the other side. There we go. Hope it's not too much, but I don't think it is. So now we just wait. Bring you back in about 45 minutes. Okay, so this has been 45 minutes. Let's see if we've burned it up yet. Oh, and this old thing? Yeah, I got this a while back. Yeah, skin's a little charred, but I like it that way. Not too bad. There we go. Throw it everywhere. Then we can get it up here without tearing it up. Pop the skin on that knee. Well, I may have to grind the edges down on this grate. They're pretty sharp. But yeah, that skin looks pretty good. Looks pretty crispy. Let this go for another, I'll let it go another half an hour and then I'll temp it. Alright, it's been 30 minutes since we flipped those chickens over. Let's run our Thermapens in here and see how we look. And we still got a ways to go. I'm at 140. Yeah, about 140. Although it looks like it's should be done, it's really not. Okay, now for those of you that don't know, the nice thing about the Thermapen is it being instant read. What I generally do is I'll run this point past halfway, which basically I'm measuring the temperature of the meat on the other side. And then I'm going to pull it back, see the temperature dropping, pull it back and try to find my lowest reading. Okay, see we're down to 161, or 58, 57, so we're not done yet. Ideal temperature we're shooting for is 165 in the white meat, in the breast. The one in the back, I think it was a bigger bird. It's cooking a little bit slower. It's at 130 at the breast. It's at, looks like 140, 138 on the thigh. So we've got a ways to go. Ideally, you want to pull your chicken at 165. That'll give you a nice, juicy, safe chicken to eat. My household likes the chicken a little more done than that, even if it temps right. They just won't eat it. And let's face it, the whole point of this cook is to feed my family. So I may end up running this up to 170, 175 before I pull it. So let's come back here in about another 30 minutes. We'll check it again. Well, it's been 30 minutes since the last time we checked the chicken. As you can see, Right after I turned the camera off last time, I flipped these chickens' positions. It looked like the front was a little bit hotter and the chicken in the back was a little bit bigger chicken, so I went ahead and swapped positions. See if we can even out the cook. Well, it's been 2 hours and 15 minutes. Let's see how we're looking here. Breast. This one here is at 161. This one here is 155. This one here in the back, we're looking at 149. I'm getting my coldest reading when I'm almost out of the bird. So that lets me know this top has not cooked, but everything else has. So I think what we're going to attempt to do is flip these over and let that skin tighten up just a little bit more, and we're going to call it done. I did switch the birds here a while back to give it a little bit more even cook, and also put a pot of beans on. Let's see if we can flip these over without tearing them up. This one here is about to fall apart. It did. Get that leg flopped back over. Well, we got a one-legged bird here. Okay, we're gonna let these go about 15 minutes. I'll check them again. I think they'll be done. All right, the coolest place I can find is 166 in that breast. Everything else is running up around the 170s, high 170s, which is perfect for my family. So I think we need to pull these and call them finished. Now the trick is going to be to get these out of here without tearing them up. Let's try this one in the back first. I think it looks a little more solid. Let's see if we can flip it over. Oh, lost a leg on that one. Lost a leg on that one. But that's okay. It'll still eat. Alright, let's try this one now. We've already lost a thigh on the leg on this one. Let's get this pulled up. See if we can get it flopped over here. There we go. Let me get this one flopped over here too. There we go. Now everything looks like it belongs. Alright, check that out. Skin crisped up when I turned it over. That may look a little dark to some of y'all, but that looks like dark, crisp skin to me. Maybe some dark rub, and for sure some dark flavor. So we're going to wrap some foil over that, let it rest for about 15 minutes, and we'll come back and gnaw into one of these, see what it looks like. Stay tuned. Alright, let's see what we got here. Been resting about 15 minutes. Tell you what, we got a thigh here pulled away already. So let's just work on it. Looks pretty good to me. Cut a piece away from the bone. There we go. Hope you can see that. Still kind of hot, but I hope you can see the moisture in that. We'll try that in a second. I'm going to let that cool off. Let's check out the breast. Just dig down in here and just get a chunk off of it. Oh, let me just grab it with my fingers. There we go. It's got a little moisture left in it. It's done. It's not dry. I can't see the screen on my camera, so I'm hoping you can see that. So it's pretty hot. So let me let that cool for just a second, and let's give them a try. There's a piece of dark meat and a piece of light meat. All right, let's go ahead and try a piece of this thigh meat. Very moist, not stiff. There you go. That's good. I know it looked dried up and burned up on the grill. That is very, very tasty. Well, let's go and try this white meat. I hope you can see that. It is moist. Skin is not crispy like fried, but it's not rubbery. You know, I'm not a big white meat fan, but I'd eat that without a problem. I wouldn't complain. That Uncle Steve shake, that's SpicyR, or SpicyR, or whatever you want to call it. That's good stuff. That's real good stuff. I didn't know if it'd be too hot or not for the wife. She'll like that. I was thinking about glazing these and maybe put some barbecue sauce on it, but Uncle Steve's, you don't need it. It's good just the way it is. So I'll leave a link below if you want to try some Uncle Steve's for yourself. He's got 4 different shakes out. So far I've tried 3. I've liked all of them. The SpicyR that I just tried on the chicken, I'm always worried about an unknown spice that I haven't used yet, or a shake or a rub, on how much salt they've got in it. This is not overly salty. I got a little nervous there when I put quite a bit of shake on that, and I was afraid it was going to be salty, but it really wasn't. So if you want to try some Uncle Steve shakes for yourself, I'll leave a link down below. So far everything I've tried of his has been very good. So I would call this cook a success. I think the family's really going to chow down, and it's been an afternoon well spent. So if you've liked what we've done today, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, why not? We'd sure appreciate it if you wanted to do that. Appreciate you tuning in to Grumpus on Fire. I'm Grumpus. We'll see you next time.